So what is the difference between bisexual and pansexual? This comes up a lot. There is a lot of overlap. There is a difference, but it's kind of complicated. And I will argue that the differences are not nearly as important as the similarities. Let's start with bisexual, which is the umbrella term. And here's why. Bisexual means you have the potential for attractions to more than one gender. I know that the prefix bi means two, but bisexual does not mean attracted to two and only two genders. As our conception of gender has evolved, so has our conception of sexuality. And bisexual now means potential attraction to two or more genders, or more than one gender. I always go back to Robin Oakes' definition, and most of the bi community uses that definition. Robin Oakes is an amazing bisexual activist, and what she says is that I call myself bisexual because I acknowledge that I have in myself the potential to be attracted romantically and or sexually to people of more than one gender, not necessarily at the same time, not necessarily in the same way, and not necessarily to the same degree. I love this definition for many reasons. She says, I call myself bisexual, not you should call yourself bisexual, because it's really a self-identification. You have to decide for yourself, and if you don't think you're bisexual, then you're not. She also separates romantic and or sexual attraction, because your potential to be attracted to other genders can be romantic, sexual, both, and all of that is valid. Some people are romantically attracted to one gender, but sexually attracted to more than one gender. That counts as bisexual. She also specifies that your attractions to different genders do not have to necessarily happen at the same time, in the same way, or to the same degree. There's kind of a myth that bisexuality means you're 50-50 attracted to men and women exactly the same way. For most bi people, that is not true. And for many bi people, they're attracted to different genders in different ways, at different times, to different degrees, and that's normal. Bisexuality is an umbrella term. We tend to call it these days the bi plus umbrella. It is an umbrella that encompasses many different multi-spectrum attractions. Basically, there are a lot of different sexualities where people are attracted to more than one gender, and those all fall under the bi umbrella. Now let's talk about pansexuality, which falls under the bi umbrella. Pan means all, so people who identify as pansexual typically find themselves attracted to all genders. Another way people say this is that they are attracted to people regardless of gender, or that gender isn't a factor to them. They're attracted to the person, not the gender. So typically for pan people, gender just doesn't come into play in terms of their frequency of attraction, type of attraction, intensity of attraction. They're just attracted to the person, and gender doesn't really matter. Many bi people feel this way too. Pansexuality is under the bi umbrella. If you're attracted to all genders, which is the definition of pansexuality, then by definition, you are attracted to more than one gender, since all is more than one, and therefore you also fall under the bi umbrella. So there is a ton of overlap among bi and pan. Many bi people I know fit the definition of pan too, and they choose the word bi for many different reasons. The history, the simplicity, the fact that most people kind of know what it means, even though not everyone knows what pansexuality means. That said, identifying as pansexual is also totally valid. And it's a lovely thing to express to the world that you have attraction regardless of gender. That's beautiful. I personally identify as both bi and pan. The only thing I do caution against is identifying as pansexual because you feel that the word bi is transphobic or doesn't include non-binary people. This is actually a myth. It's kind of biphobic, and it's not true. Bisexuality has always included and even centered the trans community. Many bi leaders and activists have been trans and non-binary throughout the history of bisexuality, and almost all people I know that identify as bi are inclusive of trans and non-binary people in their attractions. While technically bi could mean you're only attracted to cis men and cis women, that is possible. I just haven't met that many people like that. It is totally valid, but the word bisexual itself is not trans exclusive. It is not non-binary exclusive. I identify as bisexual. I'm married to a trans woman. I also like the term queer, which to me just means anything that's not straight. And this could be on all different spectrums. That's a whole other topic to get into the history of the word queer, but that is a more inclusive term that I like to use lately. It connects the entire queer community, and we have so much in common. Same with bi and pan. A lot of fuss is made over the difference between bi and pan, and while it is interesting and somewhat important, the differences to me pale in comparison to the similarities. All of us, bi, pan, and everything else under the umbrella, are attracted to more than one gender. We have non-monosexual attraction, monosexual being attracted to one gender. And that unites us and is different than most of the world. Most people today are monosexual. Even gay and lesbian people are monosexual if they're only attracted to one gender. And so people in the middle who have attractions to more than one gender often get misunderstood and shamed from both sides of that spectrum. And we should be uniting together in solidarity because the experience of being attracted to more than one gender unites us and is a big important concept for us to normalize in this world. And the difference between gender affecting those attractions in some way and being attracted regardless of gender, that's a cool difference, but to me it's much less important than standing together and coming together as a non-monosexual community. That's to me the difference between bi and pan. These words can mean different things to everyone. What does it mean to you? I'm curious in the comments, why do you identify as bi? Why do you identify as pan? Do you identify differently depending on the people you're with or the setting you're in? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Let's talk about it. Thanks for listening. I'm Rob. I host Two Bi Guys by One Bi Guy. You can listen to the podcast for lots more stuff like this. And if you have questions, let me know. I'll answer them. Bye-bye.